Hey, it's you! Come on in and join us!
We have a soap today that was a gift from Zingari Man.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres, come on in the live chat. Won't you meet the Whiff Pack? An awesome group of friends from all over the world hanging out. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, we have been showing you some of the blades we have in our den. And today's blade is...
the Wilkinson Sword, the Saloon Pack by Gillette. Y'all, these are way less than $10 on Amazon for $100. They're sharp, they're smooth, and they come in little boxes, not of 5, but of 10. Kind of fun. And what is our soap today?
Our soap today is El Signore. It's quite Italian.
Ooh, well, let's meet the soap. All right, y'all, from the sales page at zingariman.com.
Embrace the captivating essence of the Sicilian coast with Il Signore.
Oh.
Crisp, sweet notes of Sicilian lemon and bergamot dance with the fresh breeze of the Mediterranean, where ambergris adds a touch of oceanic air. The resinous sweetness of Fir Absolute melds with aromatic lavender, sage, and anise, evoking the sunlit forests of Sicily. Earthy patchouli, oak moss, and vetiver root the fragrance in rugged terrain, while soft musk and warm amber add a sophisticated finish. Il Signore takes you on a journey through a Sicilian lemon grove, where the ocean breeze carries a hint of marine allure, mingling with the bright, resinous sweetness of fir and gathering aromatic herbs and rich woods along the way.
Picture it, Sicily, 1941. Remember when Chloe and Zach came over to smell our collection and she was like, I just want to smell your best lemon soap. And we were like, yeah, me too. We don't have one. Y'all, finally, we've got a beautiful lemon-centered soap here. Well, maybe we'll know when we unbox it. There's a note in joy from Heather. She's a lady of few words.
Ooh, here it is. Look at, there's a reflection. Hold on, let's show the people here.
Heather snuck this one into our last box when we ordered the Stargazer, y'all, and we could not be more grateful. What a gorgeous label that
I know, I just keep staring at it, and then it kind of glistens in the light. My goodness.
Kaleidoscope thing going on.
Yeah.
What are those?
I don't know, but I want that whole thing on like a tablecloth. Can we have all of it?
I think they're Pikmin. All right, y'all, well, we're not wasting any more time. It's time for a Sicilian first impression.
I just realized before we started filming, I clicked send on a text message, have a safe flight to my friend hopping onto a plane to Italy right now.
Hey, that's cool. She should have taken some of this for a shave. I love it when a soap comes with a seal, so you know your snoot's the only one that's been on this formula. All right, here we go. Take it in, transporting us to Sicily.
I'm kind of excited. When I was little, one of my favorite candies was those lemon flavored, those sour ones.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but seeing that on this label got me a little excited.
With a little powdered sugar on the outside. Oh, I love
Or lemon
those.
meringue pie.
Right, the ones that make you go. All right, take it in. What do you get?
Ooh, off to Italy we go.
Always
here's the
curious
pour.
to see how prominent the lemon's going to be
Right?
when it's on the label.
We've been warned. It has lemon. But we read bergamot all the time. We read lemon. But to have it lemon forward. Oh, wow. There are layers to this lemon.
Yeah? What are you getting?
It's funny. I don't see like neon yellow. I thought I was going to get like lemon. I mean, it's for sure here. But there's cool depth to this scent. That perfumer side has totally revamped this. Like, yes, it's got that citrusy, like, revitalizing hit that's there.
Right.
But there's something, I think it's the ambergris or the fir.
Right.
I would never have put those together. But, you know, like, when you pull a lemon off a tree, it has those green leaves, and they have a smell.
Yeah.
So in the description, when I read oceanic,
Right.
I was thinking, like, an aquatic scent. Like, perfumers have an aquatic.
Right.
So I thought, you know, she's got Watchman, she's got some other stuff that I really do feel like I'm on the ocean. Great. But here, this is different. My toes are in the sand.
Oh.
And there is some kind of just like breeze off the ocean. It's subtle.
Whoa.
But it's real. Like,
Nice.
I'm in vacation mode smelling this.
Love it. Well, let's start with the obvious. How is the lemon sitting? Is it prominent?
It is. It is prominent, but it's done in a very different, cool way.
Nice.
Like, I think if you had to help people enjoy lemon more, this might be the scent to help with.
Oh, right.
It's not a lemon in your face lemon, but it's a real luxurious type of lemon.
Gotcha.
Like it's all of the pretty sides. There's nothing too sour. There's even the rind is there and the skin is there, but it's not overpowering like what you'd put on a drink or something.
Right.
It's different.
Now I have a question.
Okay.
Lemon's one of those weird scents that can either be totally gourmand or totally not. Like think of a lemon from lemonade, right? That's totally different than the lemon scents they put in certain cleaning products. And it smells good. It's just not a gourmandy lemon.
Right.
Where's this one sitting?
That's a very good question. I don't find myself wanting to take a bite of it.
Right.
I do feel like when we made our own lemonade and we had the skins and they were sitting, there was something about that process that started to sweeten. But before it got too gourmandy, that's where I want to put this. Like it's dancing the line of being a gourmand or being a real lemon scent.
Right.
Like, that explodes out of the lemon. It's not quite that bright. There's something in here that has picked the perfect sides of the lemon.
Right.
I don't know if that answered your question.
It did.
But it's kind of like dancing that line.
Yep. And what it says to me is like in music, we use filters to take out certain frequencies from the final recording. So it sounds like some of that lemon might have been toned down in certain frequencies and not others.
Yes. And it's funny, like, again, I really thought I was going to have more of a lemony color in mine.
Right.
I see more of the blues.
Oh.
So I don't know exactly how that's happening, but there's some kind of magic with the other ones. At least right here, it says fir and ambergris. They're magic weapons in this. I would not have expected to put them next to it, but I think you needed those other sides to make the brightness and the fullness of the lemon, at least the very specific Sicilian lemon, hop out.
Now, one of the only scents that I do not associate with Christmas time is lemon. But it's funny that it's here with a fir, with a Christmas sort of tree. How are those coming together, like summer and winter?
It's interesting. In my brain, I don't know if I picked up that it was a fir. I pictured that green leaf next to the lemon. Like they're friends. But when I read fir, I was like, oh, that is the same type of fir I'm getting.
Right.
But the way that it's fitting here, it just made me feel like I was on vacation to somewhere new. It's just a new spin on it.
That was kind of my question. I was like, which season wins? Sounds like we're still sitting in the middle of summer here.
I think right now it was a sunny-ish day, like 60s here. So summer's not quite here, but there's something in this that makes me feel more of the summer vacation side, the unplugging and just pausing and indulging in the sunshine. That's coming through here.
Gotcha. And then finally, the ambergris, which is... But hold on a second. It's got to bounce around on the top of the ocean for like a decade or more and then wash up on a beach. It is totally changed chemically during that lengthy process. And if you find a lump about this big, you can buy a new house. And it being one of the mysterious scents in the wet shaving world, you sense the ambergris.
I think if I hadn't read it, I would have known there's some sort of a darker spice that's just adding that special layer. So, like you need something a little darker and with more texture sometimes to help the lighter sides come through.
Yep.
That's where this is used as a magic weapon. We'd miss if it wasn't here.
Gotcha. All right. I am ready for my twist of lemon. The shaking clam. Here we go. Taking it in. Il Signore. Wow. Here's the coolest part of this for me. I know lemon. I'm 50 years old. I know fir. I've had 49 Christmases. Hold on. Where those two are coming together in the middle, they are creating such a brand new personality I can't even see straight. And on the outskirts, I can totally tell it's still lemon. A very charming one. An artistic one, a crafted one, but a lemon nonetheless. And on the other side, a beautiful, laden, snow-capped fir tree. But right where they come together in the middle is something so different, beautifully clean. And I feel like there's like a yin-yang going on with their cleanliness. Lemon and fir are both ubiquitous in the scent and the cleaning world, but it is amazing how they are switching their clean qualities in the middle of this. And that's where some of that movement is happening. And I'm just finding those first two. Whoa, hold on.
Keep digging.
And then the ambergris sits with its arm around those other two as sort of this beautiful echoey reverby sense through all of it that is turned down in intensity, but it's adding a softness and a spice that they are using to take you somewhere else. It gives me the sense of being in Sicily. It gives me the sense of being on a bright morning surrounded by stuff that's different from me. Wow, is this fun? And I think we should build a lather. Are you looking at this pour? How beautiful is that? It almost looks like a Jaws fin, like coming out of the water.
There you go.
Well, this is apropos for a bergamot soap. Where did you get that beautiful brush?
This is our Opus brush that he surprised us with. It says Barbershop Duet on the bottom.
That's the Craig and Opus brush. He is awesome. He's got a CNC machine for these. And y'all, I'm sure this is even more soap than Heather would tell you need to build a fabulous lather. And this is our pliable bowl from the Razor Company. I'm just going to push the soap into the little 3D printed ridges at the bottom of this bowl so they make a smooth surface. So you want to push down and kind of go fast. That way your brush isn't going to pull up any chunks. And then we're going to do the Smaldridge Memorial Vertical Bloom here, y'all. We're going to wet the soap and give the bristles just enough water to get started, but the rest of the water is going to hang out down there at the bottom of the bowl. That's a lot of water, you say? Ah, ha, ha, the Zingari man soap is beautifully thirsty. All right, Sarah's going to go one way with that brush. She's got to go the other way, start introducing it to the soap, push down, get a sense of the backbone.
Smells good.
And then the patented Barbershop Duet move. Turn the brush. You notice some of that soap is no longer making its way onto the bristles. Well, those bristles are circular. They need a new orientation to grab that soap with. And just about now, you want to do another turn of that brush. And look at that. Almost all of the soap is gone from the bottom of that bowl, hiding amongst the bristles. And now she's going to go down and grab some of that water. And that brush is now either ready to go to the face, to the legs, or, well, anywhere you don't want hair.
I have to say, this is a whole different side of citrus. We do not have this in our den. This is crazy.
Right. You're right. It's that mixing with that fir is doing something insanely beautiful to the lemon.
I just don't want to stop whiffing it. Does that have a score?
Why do we not have a soap that mixes evergreen and lemon?
It's funny. We've done like a lot of like more grapefruity, like other citruses.
Right.
But not a lemon forward. And the magic is in the fir.
It's funny. I can see why you said grapefruit, because it does make it a little bit of a savory citrus. But when it's done with lemon instead, there is something so magical. It's the way the sweets are meeting, because the sweet with lemon isn't like crazy high unless it's been candied. So it's like the way the evergreen sweet and the lemon sweet are coming together. And by the way, something you said earlier that's absolutely true. Not a hint of bitter or sour in this. I know there are tart soaps, and we love them, that pull at the taste buds in that kind of sour way. But y'all, without being candied, this is just beautifully, gently sweet on your shoulder.
It's funny. I think you just see lemon and think you know it, and like you don't need it. You have it in other things. But this is different. This is an experience. This is a different way to actually experience the idea of a citrus forward scent.
Mr. Bubble Bath.
Oh.
Put in the comments.
That's where it takes you.
The original pink box of powder that gave you massive bladder infections, but was worth it.
But now I want to smell that original version so I can see where you're going.
I keep asking for a Mr. Bubble soap. And you're absolutely right. It's not like a lemonade or a lemon bar lemon. It's a lemon right off the tree where I am smelling the rind in my hand.
I know we never talk about lather, but if the iridescence on this doesn't come through on camera, you're just gonna have to believe me. There's magic.
Those Zingari man lathers are absolutely legendary. And this will be easy on our new crowd-pleasing scale of 1 to 10. Where do you place this little charmer?
This has got to be like a 9.
Right. And even just a beautiful edge of a citrusy aftershave from the 60s, but not one that's standing right here. I don't really sense it right out of the speaker. It's like somebody that's standing way over there, but I'm getting it, and it's beautiful. The lemon is clean, the evergreen is comforting, and the ambergris is just there to take you on an adventure. And would you put a little of that on my face? I want these folks to see how that coats, because even though we don't shave like Angelo does, we will still show you how this lather goes on the moneymaker. Y'all, beautiful, thick and creamy.
This is the Seago base.
And right now, my imagination is just running wild as to what else might be swimming around under the surface of this. Let's look at the scent notes. All right, y'all, back to the sales page at ZingariMan.com. Y'all, we have a list of scent notes here for us. What do we have on the top notes?
Sicilian lemon, which is on the cover. Bergamot with lime also, and lavender.
Freaky lime and normal lime, and then a hint of a barbershop. Do you get the lavender? That's beautiful.
It makes total sense, because I don't get overwhelmingly hit with a floral, but there's something clean and powdery, and I kind of am leaning towards that.
If a floral could border on an herb, That's what the lavender is adding to this. And it's fabulous, and it's holding the door open for the mid notes. I know I shouldn't, but I love it when an artisan just goes, woods, figure it out. So maybe a tiny bit of cedar, maybe a little bit of oak hiding in here, but just something beautifully in the background.
It just adds a little different texture. I'm not sure how that work makes sense, but to me it's texture.
And then sage and vetiver and anise. Y'all, earthy, beautiful, spicy. Do you get the sage? Because I do.
I think it's funny. My brain put the sage and the fir together somehow. Like the greens just all went to one category. No, these are different greens.
And it softens the fir, and it gives it a little bit of a sunny vibe, if you know what I mean. And then finally, the base notes of
Fir Absolute, musk, oak moss, and amber. All the colors.
Wow. Okay. So is it a little bit of an animalic?
It's funny. My brain wants to say no.
Right. Me too. There is something in here that betrays being outside. I am smelling something natural, but I don't think it's a little tinge of animalic musk. I think what we're smelling is the oak moss and the amber. And I think it's a clean laundry musk that's mixing with the other three to make those base notes.
I just got a visualization. I'm sure it's a bunch of movies that I've seen, but almost like an Italian winery where you can see the water way out there, and there's fresh linen out on the line. There's herbs growing on the other side of the. It's just I can see all the colors and real things around me.
This really takes me to another place, and one that I feel like I've been smelling it for 5 minutes, and I'm only starting to slowly open my eyes and acclimate. But yeah, I see water, I see lemon trees. For some reason, I'm on a rocky cliff. And this is something you will only find here on the Barbershop Duet. This is the Edsel whiff. On 3, 1, 2.
Oh, I'm getting more of the realness here.
I see clouds and blue sky when I smell this version in the lather. What?
It's a little sweeter off the puck.
Yes.
Like that the lemon forward hits me more here.
Those sweets balance out in
right?
this one. Whoa.
I am actually really curious how this would be in a splash, because if we're being hit by the citrus in the soap, which normally we're told citrus is kind of hard to do.
Right.
I'm curious how a splash would be hitting with both those sides. The brighter, the mids with all the greens in there, and then that kind of deeper spice action.
And you know what's beautiful? About every third whiff, I get base notes, but the first and second, I don't. Yeah. They are so beautifully balanced. They do not always whack-a-mole. Sometimes your whiffs are going to be without them, and sometimes you're definitely going to sense the woods and the oak moss and the musk.
I think that's one of those things, if we could have a score for how many times you could whiff a soap. Like, this is a very whiffable soap.
Right.
I can't stop.
Right, or
There's
how much
layers.
it can change from whiff to whiff. We were just talking to Will at Barrister and Mann about this, about a scent that he had that turned into gunpowder and just never changed. He said it was the most linear soap he'd ever experienced in his life. This one changes whiff to whiff, and I think there is magic in how it's being done.
I would completely agree. Like, I honestly feel like I would want to smell this even during winter. Like, there's something in it because of the textures and layers in there. It doesn't have to be a summer soap.
And this will tell you something about the lemon. When you first take this in, the lemon is very prominent in amongst the other notes, but the longer your whiff goes, the lemon's the one that fades. And I think that tells you how masterful that lemon note is. Usually it's way too loud a singer. Usually it's Ethel Merman doing Silent Night at Christmas. Nobody wants to hear that. Silent Night! And woke up the deaf dog.
Take like an 8 count whiff. At the beginning, the lemon brings you in. Then it goes into that woodsy kind of fir and green notes in there, the sage and stuff. And then the magic, I think, at the end is the amber, anise, and that ambergris.
Let's all do it together, an 8-second inhalation. And if you can't do that, call Klinger Vocal Studio. And
whiffable soap, y'all. Oh, he went more than 8. Where are you? Where'd it take you? Come back.
y'all, if you can go more than 8, you wind up in Antarctica. And the woods jump out in a brand new way, which I will try to describe when we take this a little deeper.
Okay, so just confirming. On here, it says ambergris.
Yeah.
But then the notes that we just read, it doesn't actually list ambergris. Would you kind of put that as like a top, a mid, a base?
How do you always catch that stuff? You're right. I would put it in the middle. I think it's very binding. I think it's what gives it its mystery. I think it's what gives it its chemistry. Where do you put it?
I agree, because I think it's throughout the whiff. I think I thought I got it more at the end, but I think it almost like parallel with the lemon. It's the stuff in the middle that kind of keeps swapping around.
Right. And you know who I visualize when I smell this?
Yeah.
David Schwimmer, Ross from Friends.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like one side and like Richard Simmons on the other.
Okay. So I think that just tells you it's a very versatile soap.
Richard. Howard Stern might smell like this. Furio. Remember Furio? He disappeared kind of fast, didn't he, back to Italy? Furio would wear this.
Yep.
And Carmela would love that.
That long hair, in the wind, off the ocean, it's a thing.
Just saying.
I was trying to decide when I think I would use this, and I wanted to say morning, but then I'd want it with me all day. So I don't know if that helps, because I feel like if you need some sunshine in your day, this is one of those ones that'll just put a smile on your face.
Well, I said sunlight earlier. I mean, it's just kind of a no-brainer, but you know what's funny? Think about a dusky evening and smell this. It changes.
I agree.
A lot. Mm-hmm. Whoa. It almost has like a foggy sense to it.
Yeah, and I think that's where I was getting not aquatic, but I was getting ocean mist or something.
Yes. We're going to have a special coming up somehow that talks about expectation versus experience when you're smelling a soap. Because we realized the other day we had a soap that if it had said one thing on the label, we would have thought it was absolutely disgusting. But if it had something else on the label, we would have been like, oh, yes, that's lovely. Well, it's kind of like when you go to your refrigerator and you grab a big bottle of Sprite and you take a giant swig, except it's tonic water. Your body doesn't immediately perceive that as delicious tonic water. It thinks it's poison and it makes you spit it out onto the pot roast. So there is something insane to be said about preparation for what you're about to smell, at least getting your schnoz ready for it.
And I love this label. There's just something so simple yet so complex. Like it takes you there in the best of ways.
I would totally use this if we were going to Italy. This has all of the joy and expectation of international travel. I'd probably use it the whole time. Well, I'd probably use some Parasso because when in Rome.
But I think she actually dropped this when she went to the meetup that I think was in Italy.
Right.
So it
she
makes
did go
total
last
sense
year.
now.
Yeah.
I mean, we're smelling it now, but it's just because that was the intention of where she was going.
Wow.
It kind of feels like we got on that plane ticket ourselves.
Do you even get a little floral now than you did before?
It's funny. Okay, it's a journey. If you go in looking for one thing, like you said floral, and I went to go look for the floral, and I got everything else around it.
Right,
so it's like whichever one I'm not taking as my keynote in, the rest are more of the shining star.
Yes, this is not an experiment in contrast. This is an experiment in backgrounds. So you are getting much more of a sense of the note you're looking for because of everything that is surrounding and supporting it. Heather, lovely job. So it's pretty simple. Y'all picture it. Sicily, 1953. You're going to be living life with your husband and your daughter, Dorothy, but just about the time she brings home her boyfriend, Stan, boy, are you going to get your own. So head over to ZingariMan.com where you'll find this and everything else I want in the world. There are people who are not big fans of boy bands, but they still love the Beatles. You know why? Because it's done right. It's done in a classic way, and it's amazing. This is the lemon for those who don't even like lemon. Why? Because of its character, because of how it's being hugged by the other scent notes, and because of its charm. Y'all, this whisks me away to a Sicilian seaside, but does it in the most gentle way imaginable. What a beautiful scent this is. And the base... Y'all, there are reasons this is legendary. Beautiful, safe, thick on my face, easy and fun to make. Thank you, Heather. We will be back for some gin. Welcome to Messages.
So for our March giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get $25 to McDuff Soap Company.
It's in Canadian dollars. How fun is that? All of you have to do to be eligible is send us an email here to We Sent You at thebarbershopduet.com and mention McDuff is a good boy for a chance to enter this drawing. Check back on our first April episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck.
You know, sometimes I am too much of an 8-year-old. At heart. Sometimes I will gravitate more toward a Popeye soap than I will one that looks like a dignified Italian lemon. But this is something that I gotta correct. Because I'll tell you, this is just as charming and beguiling as anything with cartoon characters on it, and I am absolutely loving this journey. This is the pulpy, meaty part of the lemon without it going sour, and I don't know how she did it.
I have to agree. I think we all assumed we knew what lemon smelled like, and we have had a valuable lesson today that no, Heather is right. This is not just a lemon scent. This is an experience, y'all.
And I have been thinking about my mama today. All day for some reason or t'other, but I'm reminded that behind our lemon tree growing up was her kitchen window. So she used to talk to us through it as a character she invented called the Talking Lemon Tree. But y'all, in California, 365 days a year, we had lemons from that tree. We had leaves that my mom would boil. We had flowers that were the sweetest things you could ever hope to look forward to in the spring. And Heather, thank you for helping bring a little bit of that back.
That's the first thing I thought when I took a whiff of this. I was like, wow, I don't know how, but this really tied your mom in today. So thank you, Heather. Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.